Am I the asshole for not visiting my Vietnam sister because she had a baby with a black man? Is that the only reason that she didn't want to visit the sister, or is that like she don't get along with the black man? Let's read the story to find out what is going on. My sister, 22-year-old female, and I, 18 female, has always had a strong bond. In Vietnam, sisters are often very close to each other. We grew up even in the same bed, which I know is different from other countries like USA. But now everything is such a mess and I feel so stuck in the middle of it. She always been bold, especially compared to our parents and the traditional behavior expected of women here in Vietnam. She is the kind of bold that made my parents angry but also makes me admire her. She went to a university in Ho Chi Minh and loved the freedom there. She started dressing more modern, speaking more confidently, and doing what she wanted. I always thought she was so brave and looked up to her for being her own person. Then she met a man. He is black and from America. Here teaching English. She kept their relationship a secret for a long time, but when she finally told me about him, I could tell she was in love. But I also knew that what this would mean for our family. In Vietnam, people can be close-minded. It is not just about race, it is about what people will say, what the neighbors will think, what extended family will gossip about at every gathering. My parents are very traditional, and I knew this would break our family apart. When my sister got pregnant, she kept it hidden as long as she could, but eventually she had to come forward and everything just exploded. My parents were furious and they outcasted her straight away. They yelled about how she was ruining the family's name and how people would judge us forever. My mom cried for days, saying things like, "How could she do this to us?" My dad was cold. He didn't yell as much, but the way that he stopped speaking to her hurt even more. He completely withdrew. My sister didn't back down, Dot. She said she was keeping the baby, that she loved her boyfriend and didn't care about anyone, Dot. My parents told her if she wanted to ruin her life, she couldn't do it under their roof and that she left, they would withdraw all financial support. So she left. Wow, that is hardship. Wow, that just like, what is parents' love? Parents are supposed to give unconditional love. It's been a year now. She had her baby boy. I have seen pictures, and he is beautiful. My sister is happy, or at least she says she is, but I can tell she miss us. And I know financially she is struggling without my parents' support. She doesn't say it outright, but I hear it in her voice when we talk. She still calls me sometimes, even though I have to sneak around to answer because my parents don't want me to talking to her. I feel stuck. I love my sister, and I miss her so much, but I also feel guilty. I didn't stand up for her when everything went down. I just stayed quiet while she was kicked out, and now I don't know how to fix things. I tried to bring her up to my mom, but she shut me down every time. She made her choice, she says. My dad won't even mention her name. I've been saving my allowance to make a bus trip to Saigon to visit her. My dad overheard me on the phone to her planning to come and see her, her boyfriend, and my baby nephew. My dad confronted me and told me if I go to see her, I won't be welcome back home. Wow, that is hard. The father is very harsh and have a hatred toward the boyfriend. I depend on my parents for support, and without them, I wouldn't know where to go. But how can I turn my back on my sister also? It isn't right of me to have to pick a side like this, and I feel like a coward for still taking support from my parents while my sister struggles alone. I just wish people could see through color and didn't care what everyone else thinks so much. Yeah, so it is your sister is in a very tough spot. You love your sister, but you need your parents to survive. The first thing is don't talk to your sister at home, right? I will just try to at least like go outside or something. And it is very hard to talk to your sister at home because there's walls. And walls, if you speak, no matter how low you can speak, there's still a chance your father might walk by and hear the conversation. because sometimes you talk to your sister for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes. These are open windows where your dad or your mom can walk by and hear it. So best way, sneak out, and tell your sister, like maybe try to set out like a time where you can call your sister at a specific time routinely, maybe every Sunday or every Saturday, where you go out in a cafe and talk to your sister. And overall, I feel like it's a really sad story that your parents cannot support you and your sister, because I grew up in an Asian family, and I relate to this so much because I grew up in a very, very traditional Asian family, Chinese family, and I know that my parents won't 100% not support me if I found a person of color, and they will probably do the same thing to me because they're very traditional. And American parents, they're a bit different, they see people, they are acceptable, and Chinese or Asian culture, it is a crime, and especially my dad, he is a religious Buddhism, right? And these are huge crimes where you go to hell for this. Like, I don't know, like it's a crime like to like go to another race, like it's hard. But more they are more only acceptable to Americans, like white Americans, and that's the only race that will accept other Asians. Like, they told me about it already, and good thing, like, it don't really bother me. I grew up in a town that is majority, like 95% white people, and was able to just fall in love, and nothing was complicated, right? And for her, things were a lot more complicated because she fell in love with a person of color, right? And I know, like, Koreans, they fall in love with a person of color, and they still manage, the parents still love the person and love her and try to like support her. And not every parent does it. Not every parent will show unconditional love to the kid, right? And it is hard. Sometimes it's very hard. Like, you have traditional parents, and I feel like she is definitely struggling. And what I tell to the OP is, when she like you're not gonna change your parents' mind. All you can do is probably like save money and pay your time. Once you have find a job, once you get stable, you are kind of rekindle with your sister, hang out with the niece or nephew, right? And kind of build out the relationship, and your sister will understand it, because your sister knows that you can't financially support yourself, right? So you need parent support. Once you're done, rekindle with the sister, and then also keep your parents in check too, because your parents, they raise you a lot, and can't just abandon them when they are older, late 80 years old, and really needed someone to help. So I'm not gonna say anyone's an asshole or not an asshole. I'm just saying that, try your best. Set out a routine to call your sister at a specific time outside the house, preferably, and save up the money, find a job. And once you got your own place, visit your sister more often, call her more often, and rebuild that relationship. Hope things work out better. Yeah, so I guess that is the end of the video. If you want maybe more of these stories later in the future, be sure to get this video a big thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. My name is Calvin, and I see you guys next one.